Hello and welcome or welcome back to Megan TT Hobbies. I've got my Peoria Chiefs hat on, which is a new recent purchase. It's nice and fitted and everything. Still kind of wearing it down. I love their blue uniforms. So yeah, I went to two Peoria Chiefs playoff games recently. So, I've got a big, huge recap. This is part one because it's going to be pretty long. So then I'll give you part two. So let me start out. Russ Chambliss, it smeared just a little bit, but it poured on Wednesday. I mean, poured on Wednesday. So he's the hitting coach, and this is for a friend of mine. He needed it to complete his set. I'm going to put these in the case as they go. Recently called up Edgar Gonzalez on his State College Spikes card. And then my friend and I, we did some customs. I took his pictures for Connor, and then I made the cards. So 2 for Nick Plummer, who's actually pretty nice. It helps when they win. Andres Luna, he was so sweet. He had like loads of stuff in his arms, and he set that down in order to sign. And it's a little bit lighter in some of these, if you'll see, but it was pouring. Finally able to get Jake Dahlberg. He's been pitching very well. When I saw him at Quad Cities during the regular season, he's like, yeah, I don't have any cards, so this was fun to get the State College one. Let me flip some of these around and get to some more. Mainly just a lot of customs. Julio Rodriguez, that's actually a picture that I took. Yariel Gonzalez, and this guy, man, he is on a tear lately. Now, Peoria is in the championship right now. It's 1-1 in terms of the series, best of 5 versus Bowling Green. So there's that. Cody Whitley, who has been pitching very well recently. You'll see I did 2 of each. If somebody would like to trade for one of these, I will. I don't sell, but I would trade for one of those. They're just custom cards on like cardstock. Ben Yoakley. He's a really nice reliever. Trying to get it to focus a little bit better. Sun right there. And he jokes with me that it's like the ballerina pose. And so, yes, it was pouring. So, some of these are before the game. Some of these are after the game. But after the game, the lady that works for the Chiefs was nice and let my buddy Connor and I like not stand out in the pouring rain and stand just under like an awning where you're not normally allowed to be that close. So, that was really nice. Dennis signed for me. He puts Dennis, I think it says Dennis, or D Ortega, or Ortega. 1, 2, 3, 4. Dennis is a really nice guy, a good catcher. Mr. Rackman himself, Zach Kirtley. I thought this was fun. I've gotten it signed a picture before. I love that in the distillers. Oop, missed one. These, like I said, these turned out really, really awesome. A couple from Brandon Riley, who is, I think he's on the DL. And then a couple from Thomas St. Clair, one of the pitchers. What else do we have? Luke Baker. He's quickly become one of my favorites. You'll see why in a little bit, but there's that one. That one. For my friend, I think that's his card. Finishing these off for him, so I'll send them to him early next week. More. I got some of these before, I think, and some of them after. He's super nice, and I think he's going to go far, and he's been awesome. I mean, look at what he signed, and he's like the 70th something pick this year. This one, it smudged just a little bit. We figured out this paper's a little too glossy, but it still worked. Johan Oviedo. Really nice guy, too. And I think he's going to be a good pitcher. The sad part of the playoffs is a lot of these guys won't be back with Peoria. They'll either go to Palm Beach or Springfield, Missouri, so I could go see them there. Palm Beach is going to be a little bit more difficult to get to from the Midwest. And then I found an actual card for him. This is 95 of 100. And he signed it right there. This is like an orange one. So that's really cool. There's an article, if you go to the Peoria Chiefs site, that talks about kind of how hard it was for him to get here. So more. CJ Saylor. He's an awesome reliever too. Super nice. And I got 4 of them, and then I had more on the other page, and I totally forgot about it. So I'll get those done in the off season or next season. I'm thinking about going to spring training, so that would be cool. None other than Paul. You know, one of my favorites. And then I found this green version. And I gave him the other one. This is 8 of 99. I made this #1 fan for Paul. And so it's our picture that he signed for me. Oh, and then there's another Julio. So Paul, one of our favorites. So that's all the cards and customs. Like I said, we did really well because we were one of very few. So this is at the Quad Cities game. This is, I think, the Cedar Rapids mascot, and this was just a funny picture of him kind of, and Luke Baker. He chuckled when he saw that. I did do some 4x6s with the same photos, and then I also did some larger ones with Oviedo. She's super nice and a really good pitcher. I tried to give the guys the cards, and some I was able to give some 4x6s too. More for CJ, and I did some 8x10s for him too. Just because I've gotten to chat with him throughout the season at games, and so I wanted some of the special ones. So for Paul as well, signed our 4x6, and then more 4x6s. Trying to go through this since it's getting to be like 10 minutes. That, and we got more. Yariel Gonzalez, that was kind of in regards to the Luke Baker, so that's like the hat from the mascot. So that was funny. This one. Oh, that's Cody Whitley. And then Ben Yoakley. Then I had Dennis sign a couple of the 4x6s too. And he's been super nice, so I did him in the larger one. I mean, I just go to Costco and have these things printed, so it's pretty cheap. Zach. And this is one that I took at Quad Cities, so that was nice to get him on a defensive one. Then he signed that. A couple from Brandon Riley. Who else do we have? Thomas St. Clair. And then Nick Plummer. Like I said, I did 4x6s for like all the cards. Oh, I'm back to another couple 8x10s. Then this one I have to get framed because Paul's been super dupery nice. Unfortunately, he's injured, so he's technically on the DL for the playoffs. But this was just a great picture earlier in the season that he signed for me. And then Nolan Gorman, I just showed him one before. Afterwards, he kind of took off. He didn't have a great game, and he's like, yeah, I'll get you later. So I think later was as in another day. So, but very nice signature for Nolan. So I'm going to cut this off because it's already almost 12 minutes. But I've got a part 2, which is going to show some really cool stuff, and then the rest from the second game. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know for baseball, like, what your favorite thing is to collect autographs on. If it's pictures or cards. Like I said, I really, really, really like how these custom cards turned out. Especially since they're my friend's photography. Knocked the camera there. Sorry about that. Like, comment, subscribe. I can't say it enough. Please do. Trying to get to 100 subscribers. Go Chiefs. Trying to win the Midwest League Championship. And I'll be back with you with part 2 soon. Have a great day.